may have added to your decision at all. Is that true?
No, politics has absolutely nothing to do with it. Administrations have changed many, many times in the history of the National Hurricane Center, and in my decade and a half total working at the Hurricane Center, we've had many different administrations, and we've continued to do our job as we always do. So that absolutely has nothing to do with it. It's my own personal and professional changes that need to be made. I think this is the right decision for me, and I'm confident the Hurricane Center is going to continue to fulfill its mission in an excellent way. We've never had a more talented staff than we do right now. So it's all about my own personal and professional decisions.
And do you have any concerns about potential budget cuts to either the Hurricane Forecasting Improvement Project or things that might affect forecasting in the future for tropical cyclones?
Well, in the 5 years that I've been in this position, I've worried about nothing more than I have worried about the resources that we need to carry out our jobs. But we've made it work, and we have worked within the system. Everybody has to justify what they need in order to accomplish their mission, and we continue to do that within the annual operating plan processes that the Weather Service has, and we advocate for what we need. And we have seen cuts to programs like HFIP, but the program hasn't gone away. I'm still gratified that the program continues on and is bearing some benefits in terms of new products and some improvements in the model. So it depends on if you look at it from an optimistic or pessimistic point of view. I think there's a lot of reason to be optimistic about how we're going to carry out our mission this year with a lot of new products and warnings that have been under development for many years. So yes, in a resource-challenged environment, we have still been able to innovate and still been able to improve. And so I think the public ought to be gratified that we're still able to do that, and that's not going to change, even in a resource-challenged environment.
So Craig Fugate said he was pissed at you for leaving.
Well, you know, lots of people have lots of emotions over this. Yeah, yeah.
But he said one thing that your legacy will be trying to improve the impact, like the public's understanding of impacts. What do you feel like your biggest accomplishment has been?
Yeah, and I understand everyone's emotions. I'm still having a lot of different emotions about all these changes that I'm about to go through. But I do feel really good about what we collectively in the hurricane community have accomplished over the last few years and what we're still going to be accomplishing, because we really have changed the conversation in terms of what people are focusing on when a hurricane threat is materializing. We have gotten way past the focus on the exact forecast and on the category, and we really are focusing on the individual hazards, and emergency managers are making more robust decisions and more robust plans based on all of that. We've worked with them through this evolutionary process. And with our communications experts in the media, we've had ongoing conversations like we do at this conference every year. And every year I'm seeing far more effective public messaging overall, getting to the public in advance of hurricane season about preparedness, what they should actually be doing. And we're getting more effective information into the public's ears and eyes when a hurricane's coming, so that they kind of have a better idea of what might happen where they live in terms of the wind or the water. So I feel really good about where we are, but I also know that we all have a lot more work to do, and we are still going to maintain that innovative culture in the hurricane community, and I'm going to do everything I can to help with that and continue to explain to the public what they need to know that can help them stay safe.
What's next then? Is there anything that we can be looking forward to that you see on the horizon?
Well, we do know, yeah, we already do know what's coming in 2017
yes,
with
right.
our option to issue our advisories and our warnings even before the formation of a depression or a storm. If something's forming really close to land, we don't have to wait until the meteorological definition is satisfied to put up the right watches and warnings. That's going to be an option for this year. The Weather Service Storm Surge Watch and Warning goes operational this year. We have a new wind timing graphic going operational this year so people know when they need to take certain actions. And then I think looking a little bit past the horizon over the next few years, I think we still have some challenges in terms of communicating the water hazards inland, as we saw during Hurricane Matthew. What a challenge it is to get everybody to be safe in the face of the heavy rain inland flood threats. So there's a lot of work ongoing there. And with storm surge, it's not just from tropical cyclones, it's from the non-tropical ones in the wintertime that we are involved in the conversation on. So there's a lot more to do, but we have, I think, aimed ourselves in the right general direction by focusing on the hazards and not on the hurricane itself all the time.
What I asked Dr. Franklin this. Do you think that the public is ready to parse out all of the information they're going to be getting? Is it going to be information overload, or are you confident that they're going to be able to look at it and not freak out and digest what it is?
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're putting out all these new products, is it going to be too confusing for everybody? But I would turn back the clock a little bit, 5, 10, 15 years ago, when we didn't have any of this information about where the storm surge could occur and when could the winds arrive, and all of those new pieces of information that we're providing now, and nothing from us in terms of forecasts or watches or warnings before it's a depression or after it's lost its tropical characteristics like Sandy. So 10, 15 years ago, there was a lot of confusion because there was a lack of information. So now we've got a little bit of the opposite problem as a society at large, where there's so much information coming at us. But what we're trying to do at the Hurricane Center and in the Weather Service is inject ourselves into that conversation in an effective, meaningful, visually appealing way, so that in the midst of all the information that people are receiving, they see a few key pieces of information from us about where the hazards could occur and what it means to them, that hopefully we're cutting through the noise better than we otherwise would be if we weren't putting out all these products and we just said, here's the track forecast, here's the category, good luck figuring all that out.
Right.
So I think on balance, we're doing the right thing by